Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Anybody want to eat supper with me? I might throw out this video, but I won't throw out my peanut butter. I'm on a peanut butter binge. I have a lot of designs just because these designs will create something else. Do you notice where the X is? Well, the bottom of the X, it has to be a jump. If you go 1 2 3 1 2 3, you must jump the X. See the one with the I in the center? Well, that's your man standing up. That's your giant. If you put it this way, the men become smaller. If you put it this way, the giant becomes bigger. The giant must be, okay, whatever a cube size must be in roulette. In roulette, it's 3 by 4. 3 ways of one cube and 4 ways of the other. Plus, you have to stand in the middle, or you have to stand on 2 sides. What you do is you grab 17 and you grab 20. Now you have to go back to 14 from your 17, and you have to go forward from the 20 to the 23. Now we've got the 2 areas. You've got the right crossing your back, the electronic world. You're able to think. You don't have number 32 with you. You're okay now. So what does that happen? You go back to 14, to 17. That's 3. To 20 is 6. To 23 is 9. To 26 would be 12 feet. And then the 29 is the birth is 15 feet. So you would have to be 15 feet. And then you have to go to number 32 is 18 feet tall. Put your hands in the air. That's about the size of the giant. The size of the giant, even if I may have been wrong right now, it has to do with the gambling games. Everything that is done a lot has to be lost in translation. Anyways, I'm going to end this right now because I got other things to do. Oh, I did want to show you this. It's been a while. It's been in my book. We're in the Urantia world, right? One of the expressions in the Urantia world is the U, is the bow tie. You see the tie over here? The tie, right? Where's my thing? Right here. See that leg? Well, that's on the Hebrew Aleph letter. It brings in 1, 5, and 9 all together. So that I'm not sure whose side that's on right now. Okay? I like 1 and 3, but I don't know if I like 1, 5, and 9. It's a tie. It's tied up to you. It's from the Aleph letter. And now all you have to do is turn one of those. You see, you drop another U on top of that. It becomes the R. Plus you have a head upside down. It's the Saturn jack-o'-lantern. You had it upside down. You got a light from the top, a light from the bottom. The head and the jaw. The other part of that is also shown in this piece over here. It's actually like this. How it comes in, the power energy comes in, and then it sits like that. You see this Zion? You see my Zion dice? Z. You see the I is what goes straight across. The I is not an I letter. It's an I. It's just a dot. It's the circle of the bicycle cards. That's the I. Z-I-O is the circle, and the N is the Z this way. Let me see what else I have in that corner. Oh yeah, that I didn't finish. That's deity. That's part of the sun. Oh, let me tell you one thing. This is what it is. Hold on a second. Let me show you. Whoop. Here's the coin. Okay? When they put the coin like this, it's a full moon. When they put it like this, it's a quarter moon. But there ain't no more to the coin than this. It might be round on one side. See the eye in the sky? It's held up with the hat. Skipper and Marian. The castaways. They were cast away. It was Gilligan. It was the skipper. They were all cast away. They all got lost. But that hat, the hat that Gilligan wears, it has a hole in it. And it holds up the electronic camera so the eye can see through. See the 3 eyes? You got 3 different areas. And that camera travels in the sky and it's just moving like this. And you know what they call them? They call them rats. But if you move around the letters a little bit and you say it backwards, it says stars. Now rats would be in the sewer. And And in the sewer is well where all the bell lines are in the sewer. They pick up the vibration, and they just bought a new radio station, CH. 3 and 8 definitely have to belong to God. Okay? 3 and 8 belongs to God. We're always hopping over 5, which is the coin, the rabbit hole. It's opened, it's closed. It's open, it's closed. Your coin. And it'll be back in a second. These are your talismans. These are the hockey pucks that are in each coin. Depending on what they want to show you, they'll show you a different coin. See this one over here? This one's on the Canadian $20 bill. This shows, and you'll find it on the jack, this shows, okay, over to this side, over to this side. It's held up. You run down here, you go into here. It can also be looking at the Saturn talisman. Here's your J, I, J. Here's all your U's. Why? Because the element, the pi, this pi, goes right into here. Poof! And now they got you on both sides of the head. And again, here's Zion. This part is Zion right here. I, 2 I's. Z, O, and it's an N. Anyways, I'm throwing these things out quick. I'm just looking over some stuff because I would really like to catch up. And the only way I'm going to catch up is if I get things out of my head. As long as I know there's something else, this also. All the way this way, all the way this way, all the way this way. Number 2. 2, 8, 4 quadrants. You must remove one of the quadrants. You see Earth? Earth is 3 and Mars is 4. Because Mars is spying on us. Mars is an empty can from the beach. Why? Martian. Martian. M-T. 2 letters, 2 sounds, 2 letters, 2 syllables. M and the letter T. Empty, empty. All we got to do is get the earth and put a little bit of earth in it and swing our magic. So we have this one and that one. Then we have the mustache underneath. See the mustache going to this side? This is what happens to the horse's nails when you don't cut them. And from the below the horses, it comes up on this side, comes up on this side. Now they read 2 worlds. Here's the band I was talking about before. 4, 5, 6. Here's the hole. But if you put the mug and David over this, 4, 5, and 6, 4 goes here, 6 goes here. But if you turn it around, the 6 goes here, the 4 goes here. 4 and 6 is 10. 0 equals 6. You have 7. 5, 7. That's their number, it seems like. But that's next year. This is the coming year, 5775. That's their number, 757. Maybe that's the date they were looking for in the Hebrew calendar because it's God's 7, is it not? The 7 is supposed to belong to the Magen David, but I'm a little confused about certain things because I'm so far behind and I have to look into certain other things to pick up on what I'm behind with. Here's the fleur-de-lis. See the hammer inside the head? One time it's on one side, the other side no, because this side it doesn't matter. 2 sides of our brain, or is it 2 sides of the world we live on? That's what my question is, and I'm not going to answer that. And then there's the cue ball. You have the cue ball, there's no problem. Cue ball has white on it, and so does everything else, and it's the Holy Ghost. It doesn't choose from any sides. I'm just going to get out some more pictures. Let me see. I've shown this picture already. I've shown this picture already. There is one picture I want to show, and it's very special, this picture. This is the swastika. But the swastika shows 3, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 7. 365 is the year. 47 is the time clock. 54 is the sun. 56 squeezes between 47 and 4 and 7 stand guard over 56. 56 is 30 for creation, and Spirit Angel of Man is the cross on his back. Inside of this one, 11, Spirit Angel of Man. You don't need the cross on your back, number 14. The game is 40. 54 and 14 for the cross. 40 and 54. 40 and 14 is 54. 47 is your time. 36 and 41 is the number I get when I multiply 88 by 47 minus 7286, which is my number, and then you get 4136. Here I get 4736. Why do I get the difference of 4736? Because 40, okay, 41, inside the workings of 41 was a T or a J letter, which made a 0. Automatically add 6 to 41, and you have 47. So 88 times 47 equals 3641. The 5 is the center over here, so your 88 gives you exactly what this is, and that's the swastika where it comes from. The balance of 125.89 comes from the Mayan. 8 times 9 is the 72 of 3636 creation. 5 times 5 times 5, because of the 3 worlds it enters. 125 in one world, 125 in the other world. That makes 2.5. The center world gets both of them, is 2.5. It makes your 5 for 50 and the passage. If you continue to multiply this by one more, it'll be 625, which is also 25 by 25. 625 times the 41 of the game of Monopoly equals to 25,625. And these are, just see the extra space in here, the home plate in here, the home plate. It stops this from the rotation. It's at your hips. It stops your hips, the mind in your hips from thinking. I don't know how that works, but we definitely have something in our hips, that's for sure. And let me go back and see one more thing. So we understood that, right? We have 36,547, which is 365.47. But we're actually really supposed to run. If you want to run evenly, you run on 366 days. Now, the thing about 365 is that it's 305. 6 we add on because the 0 was there. When you come into your own world, your 0's in your own heart. So you need your heart to beat. It's not just an empty space. Your blood has to pass. So your 365 becomes 305. 30 is for creation. 5 is for the passage. But it could be 306 because it has to happen in a leap year. But 305 is November 1st. November 1st is tomorrow. 305 plus 6 is 365. The year is over after tomorrow. So there's got to be a movement in the schedule. When you go to 304, which is Halloween, Halloween 304 plus 6 equals 364. 364 is 28 days. Time heaven, TH 28, BTH, beta heaven, time heaven. It has to do with the horses, and the blood, and the horses, and the penicillin, and the horses. What do you think there's so much royalty in the horses for? Because it's in the horses with the gross narin. Narin means 9. It means big nostrils. They do something to us with it. It's the flow. You ever see a horse run? It's the flow of all the Colorado River, flowing down the Colorado River. The flow that comes out of all the dams, Hoover Dam, and the canals. Halloween, 304. Plus 6 is 364. The 13th moon is over. 1 and 3, 4. Halloween on the 31st day, 4. Halloween in the 10th month, 0 gets 6, becomes 16, 4, 4, 4, and 4, or 6 and 1 is 7. So now that we had 4, 4, and 7, 7, now we have a 747 jet plane, we're ready to go. I guess the ghosts and goblins are coming in on Halloween day. 747 is the Einstein theory of 1776, in which 8 and 6, man of his heaven, starts off from the 48-yard line, multiplies it by 37, and ends up again at 1776. The Einstein theory of 1776 of 747 is 7 by 4 is 28. E and I make up 9 and 5. The odds on that is 7 to 5. Why 7 to 5? Because in the Magen David, the 7th position is the dead center of all positions. 6 on the outside, 1 on the inside. Just like the octagon, the passageway, where the phone key shows you number 5, that's actually the 9th position, the 9 lives of the cat. So we take the 28 plus 11, we have 39. Now we can start going over to Nibiru if we want. 39, S&T is dead center. It's the flow of the rapids straight from Venus all the way down to Neptune. They closed off Venus, they shoved her away, and now all we run is Neptune and Jupiter. Neptune and Jupiter. Neptune and Jupiter. Are we running in between, or are we living on one of these planets? One of the positions between Neptune and Jupiter, inside the square, inside a corner square, everything doubles. This one becomes the value of here, 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 and here. Everybody, the values here become 3, 4, 6, 7. There'll be 2 threes, 6, 2 fours, 8, 2 sixes make 3. That means another 3, 3, 3. And 2 sevens will be 14, 1 and 4 to cross on the back. Do you understand what I'm saying? In between the space of the numbers, where nothing is actually a number in between. You have to take that coordinate. You see, if we made it bigger and took the telephone and put 9 numbers on it, but made all the spaces in between a value of saying it's in between this and this, that's what the number is. Everything has a number if you go halfway. So now we take 28. Now there's many ways to get to 28. 7 by 4 is 28. Is there any other ways to get to 28? I just know that 6 times 28, and 28 is the moon cycle. And 6 times 28 for the 6 days of the week equals to 168 hours. We ain't got 7 days a week. When God come here to create, He created, and after 6 days, He went to bed. On the 7th day, when He went to bed on the 7th day, He sent us His Spirit. His one Spirit of our 6, and we came to life on His 7th day, but it was our first day. And we started over. And it didn't only happen there, but it happens once again when they split this world up in 3, 1, and 3. We got to jump and we got to take a leap. I didn't say we have to take a leap. We have to take a leap. So, 5 is the passage to come in of the 9 birth equals to your E and I letter. Since we have 28 on this side, 7 times 4, and 28 on this side, 7 times 4, we have an E and an I, an E and an I, an E and an I-O, E-I-E-I-O. 7 times 4 is 28. E, I equals 14. 14th letter is N, E-I-N. Add the 11 because now you're in the center. E-I-N, add the 11 to 28, you have 39. Either you have S and T, standard and poor's, first, last, second, and best. Then you have, below it is number 14, is N. On the other side is 23, it's W, N-W. N-W, New World Order. Why? Because in between is nothing. Because it's black. The other ones are red. So you have Einstein from that. Now, not only that, but if you take all the multiples that you can possibly make 1776 with, okay, and 1776 is very easy. 1 times 1776, split up. 1, split up to 7, split up to 7, split up to 6. Widen them apart. Now you go 2 times 888 and split them apart underneath each other. And now you go 3, 592, and split them apart. And you go 4, 444, and split them apart. And then you go 6, 296, and split them apart. And then you go 8, which is 222, and split them apart. When you start counting down the first row, equals 28. When you start counting down the second row, equals 39. When you start counting down the fourth row, equals 28. 28, 2 and 8 is 10. Becomes a 0, becomes a 7. The second row of 39, 3 and 9, 12, 1 and 2 is 3, you have 737. So the number of 37 times 48 equals to 1776. When you add them up, now that we have 7, 3, and 7, which makes 21, and 10 is 31. But add 6, so it becomes 37. And do it to the other side, you have 37, 37. Add them together, you got 74. 7 times 4 is 28, 7 plus 4 is 11, 39. We have the whole thing all over again. And shit, we're all picked up in our brain. Oh my God, I better put on my glasses. I want to shoot back the screen the way the screen shoots back at me. We've got 18 minutes done, and I don't even know if this is going to upload. I'm going to be down and down and down and out. So anyways, we get back to 1776. Now 74, since we split our head in the center over here, I give half to this side. Now we split our head, I give half to this side. Now I got 1 1/2. 1 1/2 times 74 equals to 111. I go up to Twin Towers, I get right to the top floor, and I look up, there's a roof. I guess there's another floor on the roof, right? So we'll make that 111. The 111th floor, 1, 1, 1. And on the roulette table, it splits it up 16 and 19, standards and poor, equaling to 35. 3 by 5, 3 plus 5 equals to creation. It makes the 8 ball and the 15 ball. The 15 ball is 1 and 5 is 6. So now we got 8 and 6. The same 8 and 6 times 8 and 6 is 48 times 37 is 1776. And the odds in the crap game, they pay you 7 to 6 on the 6 and 8. But The thing that's crazy about the crap game is when you go ahead and bet on the hard 6 and the hard 8, they give you like 8 to 1 because you're in the 8 heaven. All the hard ways, all the casino games, they tell you what's going on in this world because everything was created with numbers. Without the numbers, you have no coordinates. Without no coordinates, nothing's coordinated. So where are we right now? Where are we? Where are we? So let's go back to the Halloween. So we finished off the Halloween, and the Halloween happens to be on the 13th moon. The 13th moon, like I said before, is 13 times 28 is 364. Halloween is on the 304th day. 0 equals 6 makes it 364. 3 times 6 is 18. Times 4 is 72. What is that? 9 times 8. Heaven of the man's birth, 72. Plus the cross, 14. 1472 makes 86. You have 72. 86 of Mr. Tackpan, 7286. It also shows up in 1776 shows up in Peru. 1776 shows up in India. 7286 shows up in Russia. It shows up in Baffin Islands. It shows down by the South Pole. We got to make sure that we watch out for the lines and the stripes because the lines and the stripes happens to be with zebras, and that's in New Zealand. On one side we have the Baltic, on the other side the Mediterranean, and something's going on because they need to do the Hiroshima Act. It's part of the game. So did we finish with Halloween falling on the 13th moon? But remember, every 4th year it falls on the 305th day, makes 365. We're still missing 0.25. But now, the moon has already ended, we end up with 1.25. The 0.25 that's not counted, and the one that we now miss because the moon ended the day before. 1.25, the Mayan say, 3 properties, 1, 1, and 1, 3 railroad stations. The 4th one we don't use, it's short line, okay? 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Times 5, again, is 625, times 41, which is the change in your pocket. A quarter, a dime, a nickel, and a penny. USA equals 41. But if you multiply 41 by 625, you have 25,625. So we talked about Halloween and the day and a quarter that's left over. So we actually have 3 years where it falls right on 364. But in the leap year, all we're left over is a day and a quarter. 1.25. Now there's another calculation I haven't brought up yet. It's somewhere in the works. I've finished it 100 times and I've said it 2 times, but I think it might have got crossed out. That the year, number 91 that we used before, which is Venus 81 plus the 10, 10, 10 of the each world, 81, 91, 101, 111, 111 back to 101, 101 back to 91, 91 is born with the spirit, 101 is in the center, 111 is the top of the Twin Towers, man's on top. But he's all caught up. Because he's being balanced. 91 versus 111. Now we're back to Halloween, and it's 3 years. So it's 3 times 91 is 273. 39 weeks of 7 days, and a child is born. But we always start on the 4, because the 4 dice is the only dice that shows all 4 corners covered. So 4 more days make 277, and on the 277th day of October 4th of 1963, there was 88 more days to the end of the year. 88 was the world we were coming into. It was actually just one hourglass turned to the side, and when you fill in an hourglass turned to the side with 2 triangles, you automatically have 4 triangles. With the 4 triangles, you now have the empty glass. And the empty glass is Mars, and we put the sand inside the Mars, and we became the man of Mars and Earth. In fact, Mars and Earth are the only two planets that don't consist of the letter U. It's the only 2 numbers that 1 and 3, God creator, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to the 3 and 4. The 3 and 4 times each other equals to the 12 and 7. The 12 and 7 make the 19 of the moon. The 19 times 19 equals 361, which if you reverse it to the 0, you have 301, and that is October 28th of 1988. And a man died in that year of 1988 on that day, and his name was Tsar King of the Sky. And that was really his name. He was a man of will and all power, and whatever he touched and he did, he turned into flowers. It didn't matter what he touched, even when he put his hands in shit. It didn't make a difference when they took out his eye and they pulled out his teeth. When they brought him into the hospital, he told me one thing. He says, I have something planned for you. Something really weird, because he never told anybody else. 15 years later, it happened. I too saw the star. So now we're back to Halloween. Since we have the 3 years, we only have that 1.25 days that are left over, and it happens only one time every 4 years because we have to leap. Because it's a scary time for them. If we don't leap, we have a full connection in the 4th year. We must jump over to the other side. So we did the rules and regulations of Halloween. Now we came to October 28th, which is the 301st day of the year, which is actually 1 to 300. Why? Because it's part of another realm of something I've created, but it's also the bowling game. So when you start in the bowling game, it's 1, 300, then all of a sudden it's 1 and 300 is 301. That means we have the complete, and the answer and the end of the day happens on October 28th. Why? Because 28 in the 10th month is 38 and 6. It makes 44, and that's the time we come into space. But when we bring it one more back, we come on to the 27th, and the 27th stands for the archangels of I and R. I, 9, R, 18 makes the 27. So when we come into the 27th of October, and it's the 10th month, we have to remember 10 automatically becomes 7. So October 28th, or 28 grams plus 7 makes 35. 3 by 5, 3 plus 5 makes man of 8 and 6, back all over again. Now, if we can go to November 4th, is a very special day, and I don't like November 4th. There's a lot of things that connect to me. Now that we did Halloween, we're going to do the Mayans now. We're going to do the 5 unlucky days of the Mayans. And the 5 unlucky days of the Mayans, it's hard to see the white paper. I don't think the white paper is going to say anything to me. The coordinates of my eyes will be okay to decipher anything is. So the 300, October 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. October 1st is the 274th day. It is in between the 4 dice because on the 273rd day is 3 times 91. Add up, 1 to 13 equals 91 times 3 suits is 273. Ace to king. Ace to king. If you put the ace on it at the end, it becomes 105, and that's the cross on man's back, 105. Take away 6, it's 99. Add 6, it's 111. 274, 275, 276, 277, and 278. Now what happens on the 274th day? There is 92 days left in the year. That is the passage for a birth. Then there's 91 days left in the year. That is the spirit of one suit. Then there's 276, which would make 90. 90 is the creation of the passage. Then we have 89, which is on October 4th. No, that's 88. I'm off by 1 day. It seems like oh yes, 88 and 89, because I'm working the leap year with it. On October 4th, 277, it represents the 2 sides of the field of Venus. There's 88 days left in the year. It represents the 4 passes of the 2 worlds, the cycles of both worlds. 88. What's missing on 88 is 1 for this world, 1 for this world, and 1 for this world. The 88 becomes 91. Now we split the 91 up. We have to add the cross on to make it 105. 3 suits, 105, 3 suits, make it to 315. ACE. In 4 suits, it makes it 420. But 420 in French, say 80, which means, 80 or 88. 420s. So when you add up 420s, each one under the cross, 2468, 2468, 2468, 2468. This is 3, 2468. This is 4, 2468. This is 6, 2468. This is 7, 2468. 3, 4, 7, 6. The moon cycle. So when you get 80, okay, when you get 80, you're actually getting 88. So what you do is you multiply 88 times, now there's 3 or 4 ways to do it and I don't remember them all, but 88 in French is QVH equals 47. 47 is TIME time. 47 times 88 is 4136. Short line to the Mediterranean, if you total them up, it's 77. There's many things you can do to it. 88 at the same time, if you want to look. There's this space in between. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 areas in here. So that's all you're doing is you're going around in this little spot. So this is 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be actually 84. So it would say 80, but 80, when it's in the passage, it has to give 4 and 4. Do you remember I told you we start at 4, you need minimum 4? So this 80, being at 80, you have to give it 8. Because you need the 0 becomes an 8 because it becomes 4 on this side and 4 on this side. So it becomes 88. And at 86, you have to do all of them. At 86, it's an Agent 86 because there's control and there's chaos at the same time. It's a television show with Maxwell Smart and Barbara Feldman, I think, and you'd have to study it to see a little bit deeper in how that works. The cone of silence, where you have 2 different cones running up. But now this 88, which is also 82, 84, 86, and 88, because of it's in the middle. If it's in the middle, you have to count them all. 2, 4, 6, and 8 makes 20. So 88 becomes 108. Plus, here, here, here. 108, 109, 110, 111. Top floor of the Twin Towers. This 88, or 84, or 86, whatever you do to it, 88, you add 22 on it, you get life, the letter V. 86, what do you do with 86? 6 and 4 is 10, 8 and 2 is 10, the 24 hours of man. 2 times 4 is 8, 2 plus 4 is 6. Equals to 8 and 6. Man is caught again between 8 and 6. The spirit of 76 has trapped him. Did you follow? Because of the whole story from before. 8 and 6 on roulette. On craps. There's 8 and 6. They pay 7 to 6. Then they have 9 and 5. Then they have 10 and 4. They have widened us apart, 10 and 4. But 10 and 4 on the outside, the 10 becomes a 7. It becomes 7 and 4 on the outside and a whole new calculation. The crap table, all the numbers added up, they're all 14s. The second thing is the dice. When you take a dice and you have a 4 on one side, you have 3 on the other side. So if you do it twice, you'll have 44 on one side, you'll have 33 on the other side, one will be 6, one will be 3. If it was the 9 dice, if it was the 9 total between 2 dice, 5 and 4, opposite of 5 is 2, opposite of 4 is 3, you have 5. 5 makes 9, 9 makes 5, 6 makes 8, 8 makes 6, 10 makes 4, 4 makes 10. So did we finish with the unlucky days? One of the reasons it's unlucky, okay, for the Mayans that I did not mention here, is that, how can I say this? There's no face. Nobody's been born yet. Not until the 6th. The 6th of October, okay, which is the 279th and 280th day. The leap year you have to count, because if you don't count the leap year, you don't get the same answer. When you count the 280th day, right away it's 288. This is where it is, plus 8 equals 288 times 1.25 equals 360, which qualifies the Moon and Earth and Mars to now fit. This is how it works. Once you get to here, okay, to 280, there's now 75 days left, but now you're in the center. Once you put 288, because it's 0, you put 8. Now there's 77 days left. Here was 88 days. Here is 77. Says 2 sides. Man gets face. 288 times 1.25 of the Mayan of what I showed you, 5 by 5 by 5 before, equals to 360 degrees. 19 times 19, or 1 plus 360 is 361, the whole equation to box it in. 19 by 19 is 361. You get this from Earth and Mars. And only Earth and Mars doesn't have U in it, and a U equals 21. 21 times 5 is 105, and that's the cross on man's back. That's why it fits so well. Did you follow that? If not, ask me anything. I'll do anything, but if I start getting into the middle of this and I don't explain it right, and I come back and say, did you miss it? I can't do that to myself. When I'm on a flow, it's like shutting down the door and cutting off my toes. So when you ask me questions, go ahead, no problem. Oh, and you know what's funny? Look at this. The other page did the same thing on the bottom. Right here. 420, 426. This says the dog house. The total of 426 is 104, and that's Casino War. Because you take the ace of Y2K and take the ace away and put it after the king. So instead of having that 1 at the beginning, you now have 14. It becomes the cross on your back. So when you add up 2 until king, you have 90. When you add up that ace, you have 104. When you have 90, you have 104. 104 times 3 suits is 312. 3, 1, 2, A, B, C, just done a different way. 4, because they say when you pronounce it 80 in French, it becomes 4 and 20. Then it says 4 times 20, which becomes 86 again. And 86 and 24 make it 1010. And 24 creates the cat and the dog. 24 is the cat. 26 is the dog. So if this was 84, 48, 8 times 4, 8 plus 4 is 32, which is the backdoor cross. And 12 is 44. That's the doghouse. Did you follow me? I'm going to try and say it again. 84 instead of 86. 86 is the cat, boxed in inside the pound key, but 84 is the dog. And it says space, and that's the Super Bowl we're in right now. That Super Bowl. And Barack Obama, number 43 and 34, is hot and cold water in the gematria tree. It's Earth and Mars, the only ones that go together to create the 19, other than 1 and 9 itself. And everybody knows 1 and 9. This is 1 and 9. Or is it half field? Do you understand? Here's the ball in my hand. I only got 5 fingers. Do I count each one as 2? Or do I have to make it farther? You see, the football, you can't put your finger on it. Now you got half. This is half the football. So the whole football has 2 lines on here. But I'm not going to get into that because the football is like a B. You got the beginning of it and the end of it because 1 and 9. Or if there's only 7 points in the game, plus the quarterback and the guy underneath. So we did this, we did the doghouse, 84 and 85. When you say 80, I'm going to end this right now, okay? But when you say 84 and 85, and you use 13 moons, 47 for time, or you use 37 for the number of positions on the gematria tree in the French, or 38 in the English or North American, NA, North American, tuna, North American tunas. Tuna came up on the shore. You know why? Because North America. 2 North Americas. Tuna. N-A. A-N, N-A. Number 14. Number 14. 14 on the cross. 14th letter is the N. You see what they did in the doghouse? They took the Z and the N. They put you on the cross. Because they're the same letters. And we're in the doghouse and we're on the cross. So Z and N has to go. That's for Zion. Then you have the I and the H. The I and the H, you turn it around. If you put 2 I and H's together, now you got a square with 2 C's. C-O-C, cock. 3, 15, and 3. 21. And the cube goes in here, and both sides play off the same cube. Why? I'm going to show you why. Why? Because here's your Star of David right here. Not up and down, because this is continuous flow up and down. You start off with 2 Venus here, and down here is Venus at the other end, but in between is Neptune and Jupiter, 8558, 8558, and it represents 35. 8 by 5, 8 plus 5. 53, 5 by 5, 5 plus 5, 35. Same thing, makes 53 of the piano. I haven't done the piano yet. I need to do the piano, and I need to do the 1-3. 1-3 hop, and what I'm doing in the piano is I'm going to show you all 52 keys by jumping over 1 key. Jumping over a certain key at a certain time is going to tell you exactly where the piano ends. Raphael 7286 and the constellation of Pegasus. Please, please, whoever is keeping these videos from working, you know you're only going to get me stronger. I get mean and I get strong, but I get calm. Because there's only one way, and it's the calm way, because nobody wants to come into a room. If you're going to scare the children, nobody else is coming in. You need everybody, not just some of the buddies. We're all buddies. Not one buddy, but all the buddies of all the bodies that come here, that lie and have rested and have come and lived and died on this planet. We are bringing them into the future, and we will see, I believe, I really and truthfully believe that we will see the dead. And we will see them in not too long. But first, we still have another period to go. Even after this period we finish, we still have to learn the value of life over the love of money and sex. And that's why they put these beanies on. Because when you put these beanies on, take a look inside. 2, 4, 6. You don't have 8. You have 6. So now you're distorting the 8. Or maybe it should just come off. Thank you for watching this video.